Hey class, today we're going to do some research by using Follett's Destiny. And it's a great resource, especially if you want to be using information that's within our library's catalog. So the first research that we're going to do is just on our basic homepage. This is just a basic search. Now if I go in here and I search World War II, now what I can do is just hit enter, and it comes up with a lot of different sources. Now, some of the things that I've noticed in here is that we have World War tales, we have maybe World War II, kids survived to tell their stories. I noticed that I have some graphic novels, I have different publications, and then I even have starting to get into different even fiction works, which in this case, if you're doing research, you definitely don't want to work with fiction, even if it's historical fiction. So if I go back to my basic search, what I can do is limit this and search for sublocation and make sure that's all going to be in nonfiction. So I've set a limiter to make sure that it filters and make sure that whenever I press enter, it only has nonfiction. But what I've noticed is that this actually is really limiting what I've wanted to do. So the next thing I'm going to do is when I do that basic search, it's doing a keyword search, I'm going to do it by subject. If I take subject, I notice, let me go back and say unlimited World War II. And do it click by subject because that's the subject that we're looking for. Now it also says to refine in my search, but also as browse subjects. So I think one of the most frustrating parts is that as students, what might happen is that you see this page and you're like, it has nothing in here. That's actually not true. So let's browse by subjects. And we scroll in and we see World War II. Now I see different types. So 1914 to 1918. Those years would actually be a part of, yes, World War I. So if I go over here and select World War 1939 to 1945, I have a lot more options here. But also, if I go back to browse and keep scrolling, and you'll see that all these subheadings, it goes from N to O, so those subheadings are in alphabetical order, and I want to go into, because the point of this is to find information about the United States involvement in the World War, and I can see right here that it has with the United States. So this is also another great place to start. I can notice here with my call number that that's a work of fiction. I'm looking for numbers. This is biography, Homefront Girl, Diary of Love of Literature. That might be a good place to start. Woman on the U.S. Homefront, another great place to start. Now, what I can also do is called a power search. Now in my power search, I can search for keywords, titles, authors, and it's just a different way of searching instead of, typing it in and pressing enter. Now I can also decide different limiters or wildcards, such as all these words, any of these words, this exact phrase, but also I can choose different booleans. So I can choose women, World War II. And I want this to be actually not. So that way it eliminates any resources that include women of World War II, because I noticed a lot of my search options included those. So if I hit search and see what we get, in this case I actually did it wrong. Let's do it right this time. So wait, I want to do World War II, and the next one not. And here I have refined my search to where it includes World War II, but it excludes sources that also include subjects about women. Now, if I want to do World War II, but then I also want to do the United States, that means that I am only looking for sources that are talking about U.S. involvement in World War II. Now, the last cool thing about today that I'm going to show y'all that's on Destiny is WebPath Express. Now, WebPath Express also has a lot of resources that are found on the internet. And so what I can do is go by subject. And once I get in here, I can go into history. I want United States history. And then I can narrow that down into Great Depression and World War II. And then I can keep going on, and I noticed that here are all these different sources right here, and my eye really got caught into Native American code talkers, and so I'm going to click on that and notice all these different websites that have information on here, so that way I can go into this and actually research. So whenever I click on this link, it actually takes me to there, and it's incredibly helpful. All right, that's it. Thank you guys.